Screen tires. All right, Discord is set. All right, let's start. If this is your first live event, do me a favor, type in first. If you're new to, always want to welcome new subscribers. Trading stock and options involve risk, not suitable for everyone. You must be aware of the risk and be willing to accept it in order to invest in current market conditions. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not registered with FINRA nor SEC. I'm showing you what I do in my own account based on my own risk tolerance level. All right, so let's talk about trading psychology. Very important to have a trading plan, right? In the trading plan, very important to concentrate on process versus outcome, right? The process to me means position size. Position size should always be the same. A number of positions should always be the same. And then you look for certain pattern or certain trade setup, and you rinse and repeat the same amount. It's always, one contract if it's $100 stock, 3 contracts if it's a $30 stock, and you do sell call spreads, sell put spreads. I mean, obviously, they can show you, demonstrate how you do something iteratively, right? Like option wheel strategy. You just kind of continue to repeat the same trade. And you always risk this 50-50 chance that it will get back in our direction. And that's the most common mistake, right? So it's important to recognize it and address that. Day 1, day 2, day 3, now where signals of the market are weak, right? And there potentially could be another pullback. And if we break through the 100-day moving average decisively, right? If we drop below 415, right? We were at 4, I think the lows last week were. That opens the door to 400, right? So you can quickly drop another 5%, influenced by loss aversion, right? And deal with this more analytically, right? Engage in system 2. System 1, system 2. System 1 is slow, emotions biased. System 2, more analytical, right? Slow system. So that's my proposal, right? My proposal, if we break below 418 and you already down $250, you don't take a chance to see whether it will reach 400 or not. It may or may not, right? I don't know, right? We have so far earnings from actually accelerating the pullback at 128, and Microsoft is up 4%, right? Texas Instrument is down 4%. The pressure is to the downside, right? So for now, Microsoft is holding the market, but QQQ, QQQ is down, and it's a mixed reaction. So that's a concern. All right, so I did do Google, right? We're talking about Iron Condor, so let's manage that because it did drop, right? Didn't miss the earnings on the cloud computing forecast. All right, so this is Google. So I did sell 126 put, right? So I've sold 126 put, so now I have 10%. So I have a choice, right? I can take a loss. Let's look at what its current price level of Google. 126 put is $1.50. So it is trading against me. I can take a loss or try to hedge it by selling Usually you want to wait at least 15 minutes to find the direction. Let's keep an eye on Google. So I have 126 put, it's trading at 127. I would keep an eye on the QQQ. So 126. So now, probably take a short position. So let's see, maybe half of the shares. Keep an eye on it. So I would do 5 minutes. So 8:33. We don't really have candlestick yet. So I'm gonna wait. Looks like it's we have almost one candlestick, 5 minutes. Been so almost 2 candlesticks. Present 9:20. Good morning, Fred. Trade with the see what you hope for. Yes, trade what you see. I agree. So Google continues to deteriorate. Let's sell short, maybe half of the so Google. Let's get quickly 6. So let's monitor Google 126. So 8:41. So we have 11 minutes. So working on the third candlestick. And for now, I did short Google at 126.06. I'm going to close the short call. Right. It doesn't look like. Okay. So 3 more minutes. So I'm out of the short call. I collected, what did I collect? 37 cents and 30 cents. So 67 cents minus $1.90, $1.20. So I'm down $1.20, $1.30. Now the goal is to try to recover some of that losses by visit. So we're almost at 15 minutes. Let's see how's the QQQ doing. Apple down 1%, Nvidia down 1%, same is a down 1.5%, QQQ is down 1.5%. What else is interesting? Home builders are down. About 1.5%. Consumer discretionary is down. Percent, reversing yesterday's gain. And again, we're back above 5% on 30-year yield, and we're close to 5% on 10-year yield, and stronger dollar. So for now, the market continues to deteriorate. All right, so we're 15 minutes, right? So we can switch to 15. Good Google. Google shares, but I'm long Google. So 50 shares short, 1 contract long of 135, because I did get filled at the market open, the old order, the call, right? So then I'll have to see, how Google will behave. Ideally, if it jumps to 128, 129, I want to close the long call, right? I mean, yeah. So that's kind of the goal. The goal, and I have session high, right? 128. Usually, that's your kind of the marker. And I would look at SMH and QQQ. Let's just look at that again. In close to last week lows. Okay, Boeing turned negative. So it was up almost 4% pre-market, now turning negative, despite better than expected earnings. Okay, so I'm out of Boeing. Boeing's turning negative, pretty weak. Visa is fluctuating between gains and losses. I mean, they had decent earnings, but looks like it's deteriorating. All right. Google is at 126.42, again, close to the strike price. It's 50 minutes. So Visa is up 0.5%. Texas Instrument is down close to 4%. Okay, any questions? Okay. Okay. Let's see. Go. No, close short put, not the short call. Did I say short call? Sorry about that. Yeah. Short put. Yeah, close short put. How the question is how the Google and Microsoft driving, Google. I mean, so far it's driving negative, right? 1.5%, sitting on very important support. So, and next week probably not, ISM, no Powell. So I think next week there is, or either the next week or this week, there is, Google is down 10%, Tesla is down, more than 10%. That Apple or that Amazon is going to have good earnings is also very low, right? Most analysts actually, when you look at them, they think that Amazon is going to be similar to Google, where the cloud compute. The reason Microsoft is up 3.5% is because they are of their infrastructure. So they are definitely benefiting from the generative AI, but in terms of price pattern, we'll see. I mean, benefit from generative AI. I think Apple is actually, there is a risk that they're exploring iPhones and they're losing share in China. And in terms of Amazon, the same thing, that their cloud computing is not as robust because they don't have. That's the risk to the market, right? And when stocks like Google and Tesla drop 10%, technology obviously responds, and we are down 1.5%. Why does this declining market seems harder to trade than ascending? Always wondered. It seems like it would make a difference to short. Well, I think because this, most of the time market spans going up historically. So it's very hard to rewire your brain, but most of the time market goes up, right? If you look at the Microsoft, monthly chart, usually it's just you can even see these declines, right? So usually it continues to grind higher. 22 and 23, and now probably good part of 24. The last time we had 3 years where the market did not make new highs was back to the previous level. But it did, at least it did found the bottom in a year and a half. 2001 is probably better, right? So, but it's just usually you don't have such a big rebound, right? So I think the reason it's hard to trade is because you have big, higher than expected rebound due to generative AI of down market. So. All right, let's see what else is interesting. So Google, Texas Instruments, we move Teladoc is down. Microsoft is up 4%, Netflix. So I would watch the yield, right? If the yield continues to rise and dollar continues to rise, then that would be a bearish for the market. All right, let's review the rest of the positions. I reduced the price because I was concerned that Google is overbought and could drop. I didn't expect 10% drop, but I'll call, right? I mean, I want this, if it rebounds, I want to close 135, 140 doing today. So it's still down 0.5%, sitting right at the 50-day moving average, fighting for the 50-day moving average. I added to it yesterday, so I'm long MUR. Still short QQQ, right? I shorted QQQ, maybe 351.80. So I'm getting close to within $2 of getting out of the short QQQ again. If you're not comfortable trading short QQQ or put, right? I do have 347.5 put. SH, so shorting, you can buy SH, which is inverse ETF. Long silver, in case, I think if the market does sell off and break these support levels, silver, people will look for safety. One trade is silver. Some people think the treasury is going to start rebounding if we're going to break through this important level. So we'll just have to wait and see. Any questions? Those are all the positions. And I mean, I think right now, bulls, if you were bullish in the past, since last October, or for the past 2 years, most people don't change their opinion that often. So if you're bullish in the past couple of years and you're staying bullish, this level, right? Because of this level, right? Because of the 50-day moving down. If we make new lows, if we break through this 4 last week lows, which were not that far away, right? That opens the door to 400, right? And this is probably very important support level because most people are still bullish. If you were bullish before, you're probably still bullish. But if we break through this level and we start approaching 415, 410, 400, a lot of people will switch from bullish to bearish, right? If we do make these new lows, and then you don't know where the bottom. A lot of people think 400, and they're still going to remain bullish. But if below 400, then they're going to get bearish, right? So you just don't, and just stick to your plan, right? 4 positions. And not, or at least hedge, right? Like I did with Google, right? I'm bullish. I've got call spread, So okay, so now I'm bearish. Okay, what else? Bitcoin continues to drive higher, right? So Bitcoin is an anomaly. It'll be interesting to see how long it lasts. High yield continues to decelerate, right? Reversing down. VIX is close to 20. Value stocks down 0.5%. And semiconductors are continue its descent. Let's see what else is interesting. Germany, I think, making new low, well, retesting recent lows. We talked about home builders, actually started their descent again. So you have a person. But still pretty poor price action. Below 50 and 200-day moving average. China reversing yesterday's gains. Right? Industrials are continued breaking down. Energy is doing a little bit better. Gold is up today, right? And small caps, right? So small IW on its way to retest last October lows. Yeah, so we're retesting October lows on small caps. Consumer discretion, retail week. Talked about KKK. So yeah, I would watch this level. Earnings. Okay, so who can save the day? After hours, we have is Meta announcing? IBM, no. So after hours, nothing interesting, right? Meta. I mean, advertising spend, Google was actually pretty decent, and Meta doesn't have cloud computing. So they could have a decent earnings, I suppose. So maybe Meta is can at least provide some buffer. Based on Google earnings, people are still spending. I mean, it's down together with the market. It briefly pierced below 50-day moving average, but outside the world, right? Out of Magnificent Seven, very few. I don't think there's anyone else is above 50-day moving average. Maybe Netflix. It's Netflix above, but it's been down. I mean, Netflix, but it's been pretty weak, unlike Meta. So maybe Meta, but I don't think it has that much weight. So we have Meta, Visa's. It could be the same thing where Amazon is weak and Meta is strong. That's possible. That's all right here. VIX is up 4%. Yeah, VIX is. John bought puts and Tesla sold. I was saying like we have always, right? Well, not always. Maybe 70% of the time. So just try to kind of refrain from always, but behaving poor. We bounced back from in October. Right? But in October we were actually lower. So market is oversold. You can look at RSI. You can look at most. In end of Friday, we're going to have 30%, and definitely Fed is not going to save the market. So that is creating a setup which is very vulnerable for breakdown, right? Kind of this capitulation. right? So you do have this buffer between 416, 420, right? This level. Right, so as long as we're above this level, right? Right, back in 23, I said we're never going to break 420, right? So just never say never, because if you have something positive, well, it broke 420 and broke 430, right? I said core case, worst case scenario. We're much higher above that level. So this is a very important support, right? A lot of people are watching the support level. You know, you're going to have a pretty quick drop, right? And we could drop to 400, we could drop to 380, right? That nobody knows. Right, and the only thing that can save the market is earnings, right? And so far, I mean, it's a mixed bag, right? We have some winners, we also have some losers, so we'll see. Or 915, so and since I have a stock and short stock on a call, I'm going to wait and see what happens. Let's see. Maybe even get out. So the short call is, long call is $1.20. It's $1.40. All right. I mean, on one hand, market is oversold, right? It should bounce back. On the other hand, it's sitting on a key support, and it can, quickly drop, right? And looks like spiders is, basically retesting last Friday's low. Near-term outlook for Google, it's pretty. Near-term, we're talking about minutes or days. Minutes, it's, it can go up, it can go down, I don't know. Obviously, this is a very bearish price pattern, and we did break below that level, right? This is kind of the line in the sand, at least short term here. Right, so it's pretty bearish. I would watch this level, right? Which are close, right? So next, we probably could jump to 132. 133, but if the spiders break below Friday's low, right, Google is going to drop, Google is basically opened the door to 116. 1 day is not enough to make that decision, but let's say by Friday, if we close at 125 level or below, most likely the next level is 116. All right. So market is oversold. You could have, I think you have 5 to 10. I would not. I would short the stock. Right? I would short this and maybe minimize the losses. And I know what the hell was that, but okay. But that's kind of the goal. Silver is rebounding. And yeah, the most important chart on Microsoft, the most important charts are what's happening with the dollar and what's happening with the yield, right? Yield continues to go higher, 10-year close to 5. Market is not going to rebound. I would definitely watch Spider's last week low. Insurance have been strong. I agree about it. All right, guys. Closing bell today again on YouTube. Thank you very much by participating. Please, if you like the content, please subscribe. And if you like specific video, sign up, subscribe. So please click on that. Lawrence, welcome. How are you on YouTube? I'm sorry, on Discord. All right, Discord, Lawrence, you can find, I put the link in the stream chat where you can sign up and look at the recordings. Thank you very much. Bob, thank you. Thoughts? Google short term? I mean, personally, my opinion, because of such a weak internals, I don't think we're going to hold the lows, right? 3-day 4, that's not good, right? So I think the path of least resistance is to continue going lower. How far Texas Instruments is going to go lower? They're all going to continue descending. The only thing that we need positive news, and I'm not really sure what that can be. If there's a positive surprise, like a lot of people anticipate Amazon to have bad earnings, Apple to have missed earnings. And if they're going to hit a home run like Netflix did, or even like Microsoft did, right? Then you have a big rally, right? And not just Microsoft is going to rally, Google is probably going to tag along. But are they going to deliver % pre-market? And now it looks like it's deteriorating, right? If it's going to close below 340 line, right? And the magic line is here. Right, if we're going to drop below, if we're going to close today or Friday below this line, that's going to be a problem for the market. Just have to wait and see. All right, Snap. Had decent earnings, Snap had decent earnings, but forward guidance was poor. So they were up 20% pre-market, now they're down. Right, Texas Instruments tagging along. All right, 923. John, thank you for the selling down. Cover the puts, but to get much lower. Right, Ian, right. So the Google is, on one hand, I have a bullish call spread, right? If the market does find the bottom, then that call spread. So right now, my goal is in case of the bounce, or in case it's going to sell off continue, sell the short stock, close the short stock, right? Because Google could, depends on whether the market will or will not hold, it will continue this higher. I mean, I do have a $5 spread, so I have a pretty large buffer. So for now, I'm gonna just wait and see. Victor, uranium. Uranium, it's Bob's favorite stock. It's been in strong uptrend. I mean, for now, it looks bullish, right? A lot of it depends on how cold is the winter, but I think 3, right, 4 and 5 is coming, and maybe it will break through this level, maybe not. But it is a pretty bullish chart pattern. Klaus, thank you. Kevin, yeah, geopolitical risks are always a problem, right? Right now, crude oil is down, so it looks like it's, but right, if, I'm going to assume that Israel has no choice but invade Gaza, right, ground troops, and then I don't know how the Iran and Hezbollah is going to react. So that's geopolitical risks are always there. All right, geopolitical risks. All right, 9:26. Thank you very much. Have a great day. I will see you tomorrow morning, and Scott will lead the closing bell. Thank you very much on YouTube. Thank you very much on Discord. Please subscribe, watch the videos, share on social media. We need more eyeballs, more people to watch the videos. Thank you very much and have a great day.